And a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lyceum night, coming to you from the Paul Spiritualist Church on the south coast of the UK. I know I say this every week. Every guest that we have on our Lyceum nights all bring their own brand of individuality, their own enthusiasm, their own glow. And this lovely lady certainly has all of that and more by the bucket load. She is just, we met because I was very kindly invited to take a service for her organisation. And obviously I must have said the right thing because we really hit it off. And I really love the honesty, the frankness, and the knowledge, and the understanding. So Danielle Nijhuis, we'll get this right. A very good evening to you, my darling.
Good evening, Lawrence, and it is really a pleasure to be part of your community tonight, and thank you for inviting me.
No, absolute pleasure. I have to excuse, everybody in the world is coughing at the moment, and thankfully I'm on the other side of the cough now. I'm just on the tail end of it. Hurrah. Absolute pleasure to be talking with you tonight. This is our first Lyceum night of the new year. And I always think, you know, when we've got this new energy about us, the new year, it's always a good time to start really sort of, let's get back down to basics a bit. Let's get talking about our foundation, because that's what everything that's going to happen this year is built on us at this time, where we are. Always very popular with people to tune in and watch these or listen later on a podcast is, where did your journey into spiritualism begin?
Oh, that's a long story, but we got an hour. To be honest, I was sensitive all my life. I was born like this. Everybody who knew me as a child, as a young girl, knew that I was the sensitive one, and not always on the good side of it. And back in that time when I was younger, I wanted to be normal. I saw colors of the auric field around people. I have my own imaginary friends that sitting on my bed and talk to me. I saw pictures around me in my mind and with my eyes open, and I couldn't understand anything about it. Luckily for me, I had a grandmother who was very much into God. And at that period, she always told me, you have a very special gift. You are a child of God. And I didn't understand anything about that in that time, what she told me. And then I had some visions about things. I don't call them predictions, but I had visions about things I knew before what would happen. And my parents told me I was a little bit cuckoo, as you understand, how parents will look at children if they are telling things. But it really started around the age of 24, that a very personal person in my life passed to the spirit world suddenly and left me behind with a child. And that was the turning around of, where are you going when you are dying? So with the grief and with the past of having seen things, knowing things, I had that deep question of understanding, where are you going when you are dying? Because is it really the truth that you are dead and that's finished? I couldn't believe that. And then I went to a workshop in my area for 10 weeks, just like to explain and experiment a little bit with the intuitive and the auric field. And I really felt, oh, this is it. And I need to say, if I'm looking back now, because that's 21 years ago when I started in that workshop, I really didn't know what she had told me 10 weeks long, because the only thing I saw was a bright blue color around her throat area. And it was like I was like completely in that color. And I thought, what is it? What is it? What is it? And after 10 weeks, I said to her, and now what? What do I need to do now? And then she advised me to go to José Goschalk in the Netherlands. And she's also a tutor on the Arte Findlay College. I did a workshop weekend with her. And I started Google, because there are many things you can do in the Netherlands about investing, intuitive things, working with cards, colors, and numbers. But I felt within myself, I need to go outside the Netherlands, and I found the Arte Findlay College. And that's where it started in 2012 with Glyn Edwards. And that's changed everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a short story.
No, that's good. Do you know what? It is so fascinating. Time and time again, we hear a similar story from our guests, that it takes, what is that worst part of our life at the time, lose your partner and be left with a child. Oh my God, you can't imagine unless you've been through that yourself. But it time and time again, we hear from our guests saying, they go through that sort of like dark night of the soul, that really testing time. And I do wonder that in our destiny, whatever, when we talk about our evidential mediums or our philosophical mediums, however they work, that it's not a gift. I don't like, you got this gift. I haven't got a gift. I'm pretty sure before I came here, I elected to go, you know what, I would like to express this side of myself. But again, when we go along the free will path, going through a time like that can either make you open up, or actually conversely, it can make you go, well, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I don't believe in God or anything like this, because to do this to me is so wrong and I don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah, but I think if I'm looking back at that very, very bad period in my life, I really struggled with the question, why is there a God? If there is a God, why is this happening to me? And I'm really happy that I found spiritualism and that I tried to follow what I felt. I believe that the situation opened it up for me, and that it was already the plan to find this as a destination. I don't see myself as gifted, because I believe now, knowing so much about how the spirit world communicates, that we are all gifted, so to say, because we are all spirit here and now. And we're all able to communicate in a certain level with the spirit world. It doesn't mean that you need to become a medium, but we are living this life full of opportunities with the spirit world that walks beside us. So I don't believe I'm gifted. But it could also have been, if I didn't follow my soul and I didn't listen to that voice within, it could be that I said, okay, bye-bye, I'm going to stop this life.
Yeah, understandable. That. And interesting too, you touch on a point there which is very much in my energy, where I'm saying to people, we have all got mediumistic abilities. The thing is, in the UK, the term medium is somebody who's going to be up on the platform saying, I've got your mother here. That's it. There's no other outward thinking about that. But when I say to people, you can heighten your awareness to the point of maybe not sitting there having messages flowing, but just to know that person is there. How much difference can that make in your life? It's a long process. We've got to undo years and years and years of incorrect language being used and just look at these things differently.
I don't think it's quite different here in the Netherlands. I think we need to explain very good in all countries what the difference is between a psychic and an active evidential mental medium. But for the majority of people in the Netherlands, a medium is a medium and knows everything about your life, everything you do. Or you're talking to dead people. To say it's very hard to say it like that, but this is how it is in the Netherlands. But it's so much more. And why should we think? It's just something that comes into my mind. Why should we think that the spirit world is only there for mediums on a platform? What do you think about all those doctors in hospitals that are inspired by a source they don't know? But the intelligence of the spirit world tries to inspire and touch the souls of everyone in the world.
Yeah.
In every way.
Exactly. And why do we have this? This is starting to be my address because I'm taking the service tomorrow. So
good. Good.
Why do we always go to the spirit world with the wants?
And not the needs. Just allowing the needs to be there.
Yeah, I want this. I need this. I want this now. Why do I sit with my team and go, hello, how are you? What do you want to talk about, if anything? And just if we had friends, this is my address tomorrow, so I'm going to have to come up with a new address now.
Can I see it? Is it live or is it in church?
Yeah, it'll be shown live.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good.
If we had friends that only came to see us when they wanted something, sooner or later, you're going to go.
Friendship will stop.
What do you want now?
No, it's a two-way. It's a two-way, right? We can't, as mediums, as human, we need to build a relationship between the two worlds. And if there is a demanding, the spirit world will not work as hard as they want you to work with them. So it's they work with you, but you need to work with them. Two ways.
Oh, very much. Very much. And sometimes I've had a couple of instances where I've just been in a place and just thought, do you know what? I am really stuck here. I need something to get me out of this. And I was really perturbed that I got nothing back. And after a while, when that situation had naturally dissipated, I went, where were you when I really needed you? And they said, this was something you had to work through. And I went, yeah, okay, yeah, I get that, because we're on this journey.
Yeah.
And we can't expect the spirit world do not live our life for us.
No, they won't. And I still think a lot of people think that the spirit world is do that. But I think the most important thing is that we take our personal responsibility and allowing the free will to just give us the opportunities of life and learn, okay, this is not for me. And of course we would say, where are you? Why you didn't tell me that? Yeah. And that's exactly what I have said to the spirit world the first years within my involvement. Why didn't you tell me? And now they will keep repeating and saying, but we did. And that's correct, because I left my partner just 3 months before his passing. I did not know why, but I left him. So the spirit world told me, we told you. Oh, but we need to find in the most important thing within involvement and understanding to communicate with the spirit world is who we are.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if we do that, we can be the best server in our own way, even if you are a policeman or work in a hospital or working on a call center or whatever.
Yeah.
But know yourself, know that you are light, know that you are spirit, and then you can enjoy and maybe also be a little bit happy.
It's a phrase I coined late last year about the 90-minute spiritualists. And this touches on our conversation before we went live as well. That spiritualism is a way of life. It should alter your thinking about everything, about absolutely everything. Not just coming in the church doors going, oh, hello, love and light, la, 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 and walking out and just totally disregarding it.
And go back again to your old life.
Exactly, yeah.
What has that to do then with spiritualism?
All back out and... Sorry, just a very quick hello to the pirate, otherwise known as Jack Eckhart.
Hello, Jack. I hope you're well. Thinking of you.
But yeah, this is part of the drive and the energy that I try to foster and encompass coming out of Paul Church, is to get that message over. It's the message of the message.
Yeah.
You know, it is, our evidential mediumship is a crucial part of our religion. We are probably the only religion that can actually supply supportive evidence of what we talk about.
Yes, it does, because I investigated that fact within other religions. As I told you before, I was very lucky. I have been in a class with Glenn Edwards, and he opened many doors for me to look in every religion to find the truth about spiritualism, and I did. And it's a truth and a fact that spiritualism is the only religion in the world where communication and communion with the spirits is a reality. Yeah. So that means that all those people who are looking just like I did, where are you when you are dead, or you have that transition to the spirit world, where are you? It means that every church needs to be full, because within that simple thought, when you're grieving, there is so much more behind it. So the demonstration of mediumship, the divine service, I see it like the window shopper of what spiritualism has to bring to you.
Very, very true. This is why we resonate so well. Lovely, thank you. It is so true. I always try to bring in as part of the service, you know, this is that time when you can talk with those that you would give your IT to talk to, but afterwards also saying, you know, if the medium has done their job today and given you sufficient evidence, the job is now passed to you.
Yeah.
Continue that investigation, not to keep lining up week after week after week to have the same or similar message from the same or similar people.
Yeah.
I always say the spirit world will use a rusty nail to get their message over. So you've got the message and the recipient, and you've got this two-handed energy. Spirit world give. They will give the evidence. They will keep giving the evidence. They will keep giving continual evidence. The sitter has a part in this of saying, okay, I've had that evidence. How does this work? And what does it mean to me? What does it mean to me? I've said to people, I'm really cheerful here in church. You know? So in 100 years' time, we're all going to be the message. And we want to be talking to people to say, come on, find out more, follow your path, find your uniqueness, find your individuality, but encompassed by the understanding of the spirit world and the natural laws.
That would be in the perfect world then, that if you're grieving and you're going into church and you have that wonderful evidence with that lovely message, knowing for sure that they are still watching over your shoulder, that that they see what you're struggling with on the moment, that it is enough to swallow it and take it on your journey. But sometimes we need a little bit more, because when I look back at the first time I was at a demonstration, I was completely shocked.
Yeah.
I was really completely shocked, and I thought, is this possible? So it will take some time to swallow it and understand it. It took me 20 years, Lawrence.
Yeah. No, it does. And I'm not setting ourselves above people here, because I'm looking at the list of names here, and I know we've got a number of working mediums watching here tonight, or maybe later in the future, or listening in. So I'm not setting ourselves apart, but where we touch that world and the profound implications that the phenomena of mediumship give to us, we want to share that, don't we?
Yes, and
we really want people to go, literally, hallelujah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I get
it. I'm sometimes a little bit, in those last years, I have been to a lot of services online, and working online is slightly different than in the physical world, because if you are in the physical church, you can, even as a working medium, feel that power and that love and the healing vibration behind it. But you can also create that and feel that online.
Yeah.
If the recipients who are there are open to feel it. But sometimes I see people eating, sleeping, sitting in the kitchen, making their own dinner. And I really don't understand that, because it's a holy space at that moment where we are in. Yeah. So, and that's just another thought that comes in my mind. But it's a really hallelujah thing, because isn't it magical that the possibility that someone you loved is able to use a medium as a vessel to say, hello, I miss you and I'm well.
Yeah.
I see you. I dry up your tears.
Mm.
Isn't that wonderful?
It is, and it's profound. Sadly, it has become to be regarded a bit as an entertainment, or just something to go in. I often say at the beginning of the service, remember, this isn't Netflix, this isn't Disney Plus. This is a holy communion, and you've got to be part of that. I'm a great one for encouraging. The congregation is what the service is about. Without the congregation, there would be no service.
Yeah.
And I always say to the congregation, even if one of you weren't missing, this service today would be different. But when we are communing, when we are working on our evidential mediumship, I always try and impart this thing. We've got to have this three-way cycle of energy flowing. So you've got the communicator through the medium to the sitter, and then the sitter needs to link back to the communicator.
Yeah.
And just bring that in. And the times when it does happen, we had a beautiful, beautiful example very recently here in Poole, where the message was very emotive, very emotional, and hardly anything was said by the medium, because of the emotion that people in the church felt. They came upwards and went, oh my God, you really felt that? I said, yes, that is the presence of spirit.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about.
It should be like that. Back in my time, when I started to understand this, because I need to be honest, it took some time to become a spiritualist. First of all, it was about mediumship and understanding it. Then it became into the healing side of it, where I took my depth in, because I truly believe that if we are serving the spirit world and we do it on the right way, it doesn't mean you need to be the best medium, but do it with the right intent and the right attunement to that vibration of the God force, we can create that God force power of healing also in our evidential mediumship. But if we are able to create that touch that everybody who left the church, even if it's virtual, and you close your computer or you left the door and you think, that's what healing is all about, isn't it? Isn't that what the spirit world wants for all of us? That we are feeling we're not alone.
And that is the basis of spiritualism, healing, whether healing for others, healing for self. This year already, the emphasis is coming away a little bit from the evidential mediumship, but more onto our workshops and seminars and talks.
Really?
Will be more healing based.
Really?
Really?
Really? Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, I've broken the mold. I had a wonderful guest, Simon James, on, and this is a couple of years ago now, and we were talking about the conditions and the state of spiritualism at that time. And one of the things that came up, one of the topics that came up was the finances to support the churches, keep them open, everything. And quite a few people commented and just saying, well, you could put a demo mediumship on. And Simon really picked up on that. And he said, do you know what? He said he runs the Open Door Sanctuary over in Canada with his partner, Brian. He said it was 16 years ago that we last did a demo mediumship. And he said, and I've come back to the UK because he got stuck here in the COVID years. And he said, you know, I was going around the churches and working because I've got the time. And he said, I left this party 30 years ago and I walked back in and it's a similar situation. And I thought, yeah, you're so right. We became so focused on dem after dem after dem after dem. And even in our divine services, we have still, only 10 minutes of the philosophy, because they, I love that saying, they, I always question, who are they?
Who are they?
Yeah, who are they? Have you ever spoken to they? They only want the mediumship. And I'm just like, you know what, it's so sad. But I am so pleased because of this time now with the virtual arena opening up. And I know I said this to you and the lovely Deanna, and I meant it 100%. You know, I'm very envious in a way of the people in Europe, because you have on the threshold now of spiritualism really being come to the fore, and you've got this very enviable position. You can look to the UK at what we do well. I'm not being dismissive. We do a lot of things well, but also look at the areas where we could improve. Look at our presentation, our language, our terminology. There's so many things. And, you know, spiritualism has got so much to offer. And spiritualism, through its history, has always come to the fore at times of national crises. And I mean, the world today, I've been watching with great interest the farmers in Holland and Germany as one very small segment. Sad to say, this is day 93 of what's going on in Gaza. And in the news now, all we're getting is this latest star walked off Love Island. Because I'm just like, seriously, I don't care about them. Why aren't we stopping there? But this is where spiritualism can really assist us in this world.
Oh, you know, yesterday I had a talk with Diana, and obviously she's watching now. If people don't know, we have our own church in the Netherlands, and happily that Lawrence is helping us very much out. I said to Diana, you know, you have that, I don't know exactly the English word of it, the fast hope. And spiritualism can bring the long-term hope.
Yeah.
So I really feel within this moment, I'm not going to say this year, but in this moment, the spirit world is inspiring me to have some clarity about the possibility we can have, not only in the Netherlands, but everywhere in the world, that we can create by the help of the spirit world. But what we do is a longer term of hope and understanding than that Netflix or Disney Plus happiness that is so fast. Because it's like going, if you have a bad day, you don't know, when you are a female, you have a bad day, you go shopping and you buy a new coat and you're happy. And when you're home, you think, oh, I pay 300 euros for what? I'm still sad. That's the fast energy around it.
Yeah.
But we as spiritualists, with churches or centers, and with that, the philosophy side on it, not only the demonstration, yes, it is important, but we need to build on the collective energy and the collective responsibility we have all together as spiritualist people to combine ourselves, not as a little land on land on land, that we can create that longer term hope of love from God.
Yeah. So yay.
Hallelujah. I really feel very inspired. I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize. Part of these evenings is we tap into our demonstrators' passions.
Yeah.
Because passions come across, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. The philosophy of spiritualism, the demonstrators we have here at Poole, I always look to them, and I never put a time limit on. If their philosophy takes 10 minutes, great. If it takes 50 minutes, great. It doesn't matter. What does matter, that the people, when they leave this church, go out with hope, go out with upliftment, not the quick fix, not the plaster. We can do that, can't we? We can put a plaster over something, but sooner or later that plaster will come off. So giving people those tools, those thoughts, those ideas. And I mean, within spiritualism, we talk about, I think the greatest law of spiritualism is balance. And so often you look at situations, I mean, in our world at the moment, we're seeing a lot of our old traditions being taken away. I understand we are constantly evolving. We have to move forward. If we do not move forward, we are moving backwards because the rest of the world moves forward around us. However, what I don't see happening is a lot of these traditions are not being replaced with something of equal or greater value. They're just being denied. And this is where you just try and spark people and just say, you know what? You are important. Don't ever think that you are not important. Because the world that you create, the world that you live in, will shine out and reflect on other people.
And that's it. And if we do that, if we allow people to understand that, we can create more light on earth.
Indeed.
Because that will create a bubble and a bomb of healing around the world, and it will the good ripple effect on that side. But what are you doing then? Because you have your church, Poole Christian Church, you have your religions and your rituals. Are you doing things differently then to get it more modern in this way? I don't know if I am allowed to ask you questions.
No, you're not. Read the script.
I'm sorry.
We are a Christian spiritualist church. We are not orthodox. And sadly, I've been to other spiritualist churches who may belong to different organizations or independents. And I've seen quite a few times a very heavy orthodox energy the minute you walk in. It's all very formal. Hello, how are you? Please sit down. Don't say anything unless you're spoken to, and at the end, just get up and leave. And it's like, this is, to me, all right, some people will find that atmosphere and that environment comforting. Great, absolutely great.
Mm-hmm.
But we are a progressive, living, fundamental religion, philosophy, whatever. And we need to encompass that within our churches, our centres, our thinking. Mm-hmm. As I was saying to you before we came on live, and this is not me showing off or being Billy Big Watsits or anything. We had the most amazing Christmas season ever here at Poole. It was outstanding, not only in the attendance. We don't play the numbers games. If we have 1 or 100, it doesn't matter. That's what we do. But the atmosphere, the energy, and the community that was brought in was absolutely awesome. It was brilliant. And I'm seeing a lot of churches, especially up north. I want to get up north because a lot of the churches up there really intrigue me. They do quite a lot of work, community stuff, tailored to their area, which is great, because they face different challenges that we do down in the south. And some of them are doing amazing work. And I think that's brilliant because, the spiritualist churches and centres, we should strive to be a recognised part of our local community. Mm-hmm. Not the weird church down the road. Oh, yeah, that place, the funny place. They call themselves a church, but they can't be. Well, if you can.
The funny church. Yeah, but what we see here in the Netherlands, because there are more younger people that are interested in spirituality, not only spiritualism but spirituality. And I also believe we need to open the doors for the younger people to get also the possibility, because I was very young because of my own experiences in life. And I think I remember I did my board in Glasgow. I don't know if I say it right, Glasgow.
Yeah.
And I was shocked. I was really the youngest girl there. And I thought, wow, where am I? How's this possible? And I really hope that being part of spiritualism, being helpful also to the younger generation. I'm a mother of a child of 23.
You don't look old enough, darling.
No. Thank you. Makeup does a lot. But I really hope that the younger people who also faced the corona period, sticking in their houses, couldn't go out and felt alone. Now the world is opening up again, that they have places like your place where can step in and make the start to find the truth of who they are.
Yeah, and it's always been a battle cry in the UK. We've got to get the youngsters in. Well, I always tackle that on two levels. Number one, I always think it's unconsciously conceited to say they've got to come into us.
No, we need to go to them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't say we need to go at the doors and say, here is spiritualism, but we need to talk to them on their level and how they understand life and how they see life, and not in the weirdo way. Oh, I see dead people and I talk to them, but there's so much more behind life. Yeah. So it's working here in the Netherlands.
Brilliant to hear. And it's about the language we use, and it's about the structures. It's about how we run our churches and centres. I do think in today's world, we need to maybe look at our governing structures for our churches and centres and just go...
Your what?
the governing, the way it's run, so like committee levels, and I'm not having a go at committees. Anybody that will give their time and voluntary, absolutely well done to you. But maybe just look at the roles that we always had for like 30 odd years and just go, well, actually, what are we doing for today? You know, have we got anybody on our committee that's going to be in charge of social media, our websites, maybe our streaming, maybe our community involvement, to find groups within our community that we are commensurate with, you know, that bring about relief of suffering, so i.e. healing, be that through an outreach group that feeds the homeless at nights and things like that. And how can we work together to support each other?
That's communion.
Exactly. Yeah, we need to work harder on our communion and not be little islands.
But it probably is going to take a lot of time. But just by repeating these thoughts and possibilities, by time, there is that great idea of mine that we are all, that's the truth, we are all the same, you know, we're all brothers and sisters. So there's no difference. Even I live in the Netherlands and you live in a wonderful place. I saw it on television and I thought, wow, you are lucky. And you know, there are so many beautiful places on the world. But if we are able to combine just all our inspiration we get from the spirit world, and no islands or look at me, I'm better, blah, blah. We're all playing our part. We are all having our role to play in the bigger picture of life.
Yeah, exactly. And if what we're doing is enough, if what we're doing suits our community and everything's looking along lovely, absolutely great.
Yeah.
But when we start to get, you know, that urge to spread our wings a bit, you know, it's just looking around and going, you know, how can we build this community? How can we tighten the bonds between us? How can we work together to benefit all, not just self? You know, look at me, aren't I good? I'm doing this. But actually get down there, get your sleeves rolled up and get stuck in and do things to the positive.
Yeah, I've been to the UK, I think it was a few months ago, and I was invited to a very beautiful, nice place. And the only thing I thought, it is amazing to work here and to help people, to help them attune better or more with the masters in the spirit world that works together with us for healing mediumship. But I thought that place could have had a little bit of help of the members to make it a little bit more nicer. And maybe it's the attitude we have in the Netherlands as we're building a community. Come on, let's work, paint it and make it beautiful. It's so easy. It's so easy if we think in that way. But, you know, maybe not everybody is ready for that because we don't know why somebody is coming into a divine service at the time. And sometimes we will never know what kind of healing is created with that person. But that's just, I thought communion should be building something stable and strong. And it's not so easy if we have like-minded people and we have the nose in the same direction to create a place for the spirit world and the spirit here, because again, we are all already spirit, only in the physical body, nothing else. There's no difference between your loved ones and you. The only thing is a body. That's the difference. And that the communication when something on a different level and a different vibration. But if we can bond, I see that picture in my mind with the earth and surrounding us, taking our hands and taking the earth. So then life could be so different for spiritualism, for the earth, for everything.
Definitely. I often wonder about, if we accept we have this plane of existence, we have the spirit world as a plane of existence, then therefore logically there will be others.
Of course.
And I wonder at times, is this physicality of the earth plane, is this something that we need to work with and learn? Because as I say, these things are always a two-way exchange of energy. We are presented with issues. We need money to keep the roof over our head or whatever. And in a physical world, there is only one way to achieve, one legal way to achieve that. So I wonder
the correct way.
Correct, of course. It's a spiritual night, so of course it's going to be the correct way. Anyway, moving on rapidly. But I do wonder that if, part of the purpose of this world, because we do get very personally attached, we want to see what we've just talked about, this world unity and harmony and everything, but is one of the main purposes of this realm of existence is to put us up against physical blocks and physical hurdles. How we get over it is our spiritual journey. Interesting. You're going to find out one day. There probably won't be anything like that, and I'll go, oh my God, I was so wrong.
I think by sitting for 20 years, because I do sit for the spirit world daily, there is a continuous growth also in the spirit world. So saying that out loud, what you said about the purpose, and is that the reason, or is it different in the spirit world? It changed because life is changing. We are changing. Evolution is going on. So evolution will go on also in the spirit world within all the levels there are. So maybe we only know if we are coming there, and then we drink and we say to each other, oh, it wasn't what we expected it to be, but maybe it's much more intelligencer than we are thinking about it now. That everything, what happened in the world, if we're looking back into history, I said in the period of time when Corona was heading into the world, there it was bad for a lot of people. But if we're going back, it just reminds me of the story of my grandmother, because she had the Spanish flu in her time, and she was very, very ill. And that time was very similar in the Netherlands on Earth as it was within this time. And if you're going back into history and you just, if it is interesting you go back, you see around 100 years, this evolution and this cycle. So
this is one
of the. Isn't that interesting?
It is, and our work as evidential mediums should always be that we dig away at something. If we are presented with a clock, why you show me a clock? What's the significance of the clock? What's the story behind the clock? So it's like peeling the onion.
Yes.
We're paring away. If you extend that thought out to the challenges of the world, we will see it's the same energies but different players. Exactly. I was on the gay scene when the AIDS epidemic broke out. And although confined to the gay community so much, there was the fear from the heterosexual community, the fear of the unknown. But I see the very similar energies of that time reproduced in the COVID time. I saw the isolationism, I saw the separatism, I saw the people pushing back against your, if you're vaccinated, you can come in. If you're unvaccinated, you can't because we fear you. And it was exactly the same energies as I saw in the 70s and 80s on the scene in the UK. I saw so many people kicked out of families. And this still goes on in other religions around the world. So we do, if we pare back and look at what we're going through and dig away, we actually find those energies are nothing new.
No, exactly. It's nothing new.
Nothing new
and that's why I think it's so important that if you're mentioning peel the onion, we try to talk now about peel the onion of life, but it starts with us. Yeah. So if you are interested in, I don't believe in development, I believe in involvement because it's already there.
Yeah.
So it starts with peel your own onion, because to be honest, Lawrence, I never had the intention to be a medium. Yeah. I never had the intention to be a teacher. I never had the intention to stand on a platform because my nerves were so big that I was afraid I only was making nonsense out of my mind. But it's all on peeling the onion to get your true self out of you. And yes, I choose to allow this way to happen. And I believe you're never ready. We don't know anything yet. Mm. There is so much more. But if you start to trust you and who you are, and don't listen too much to other people, what they think about you, because that's what people do. Start to go and sit and peel your own onion and see the beauty of you, because then the flower will blossom.
Indeed. Indeed. No, that's a wonderful way of putting it. And it is. And I would say to people, when you embark on this voyage of self-discovery,
yeah,
sometimes you are, and especially with our healers, we've got a very active healing team here, and I'm so grateful for them, each and every one. Good. But I always say to them, when you start on this, you will drag up a lot of stuff out of your own life.
You need to.
And just remember, you're not on your own.
No.
With that, you can discuss that, because we always have a discussion. Is anybody having any issues, any problems at the moment? Because it will, as you're healing, so will things come out of your own past, your own energies, that you can deal with it or not. We always have that option. But if you don't
you have always the option if you want to deal with it. But I hope that everyone who is listening to this now or whenever, that you feel that the love of the spirit world and God is giving you an opportunity to be healed yourself. Because if you are healed yourself and you allowing the trash, so to say, come forward and work with it, accept it, cry about it, talk about it, it means that by time the flow of healing from the God force can be stronger.
Yeah.
And that the control the healing masters have can be more stronger. So it is needed. I also believe that's needed within evidential mediumship, not only within healing, but we always, even if we have that feeling and the desire to involve and want to be medium, want to stand on a platform, because there are still a lot of people who have that desire. I want to be a medium.
Yeah.
And that you work on self, that you never forget to work on self.
I do have a wry grin when people say, I want to be a medium. And they go, oh, really? So you want to give up 40 Sundays of the year? You want to be trudging around the countryside? You want to go to places and think, why am I here? Because I'm really not enjoying this. And I've not yet met a multi-millionaire medium, so forget that. But it is so much more, because the evidential medium, focusing on them, the work, the time, the cost of
absolutely
that journey is about that self unfoldment again. It is about that self unfoldment. When we stand up there on our platforms or online or whatever, we're not there to go, look at me. We're there because of the love of communion, exactly. The joy of spirit, and wanting to share that and wanting to bring that over, not only strongly as in supported by the evidence, but also lovingly, because we are part and parcel of that energy. That energy is us, and we are that energy at that time. So we can convey that love. Yeah. We can convey that healing. We have a question.
Oh, really?
Really? Sue Townsend. Originally, spiritualism appears to have had a strong following from white communities pre and post-war, for instance. Whereas there is a much greater multicultural society. Do you feel there may be something in this when reaching out to people? Does an old perception persist? So I think what Sue's saying is, are we being seen as a white-only religion? To put it in a very hard, basic term.
Yeah. I don't believe that. There is a change. As you know, I am a member of the Spiritualist National Union, and within the CSNUt, we have now an official tutor, Anne-Marie Bond. Yeah, and Anne-Marie Bond, I really think she represents the multicultural aspect of spiritualism. And I do know somebody in the Netherlands, Jeffrey, who is doing a lot of things online with people from South Africa, from Suriname. I don't know if I say that right. Suriname. It's a country. Okay. Somewhere. I'm going to dig this out, how I'm going to pronounce this. But I don't believe we are a white religion. I also, I'm very white, but my husband is a quarter from Indonesia. So within my relationship, we had a lot of talks about rituals within Indonesian culture. But if we are looking into every culture and every religion around the world, no matter where you live and which color you have on your skin, or the kind of colors of your hair, or of your eyes, spiritualism is for everyone.
Yeah.
For old and young, for if you are from China, if you're from Africa, because we're all coming from the same source. So we can never be a white religion only.
And also the derivatives of spiritualism are multicultural. When we look at the Aborigines, they spoke to their ancestors. What is that? That is mediumship.
Yeah.
I was brought up in Nigeria until I was 9. And over there was practice, it was juju. But again, it was linking with the ancestors. It was talking to the ancestors. So the actual tenet of spiritualism is immutable across all races and across all corners of the earth.
Yeah, and as a spiritualist, you can walk into every church in the world. Because that's really a thing that is in my mind with the thoughts of what Glyn Edwards is giving to me. Walk into every church, invest in every religion, because then you will find God in everything. And that's it. There is no... It seems like that spiritualism is a separate thing, And in some terms, we need to have it like that to understand that it is also the communication and the communion of spirits. But also spiritualism is the whole package of all religions in one, with the communication and the communion.
I'm a very firm advocate that spiritualism can underpin knowledges and texts of all of the other religions.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful doctor who used to come to us from India, and he was seconded to the local cancer. We got a very big cancer unit in the area. And I said to him, what is the pull? Why do you come here? What are you looking to find? And he said, basically, we just want an understanding. We've got 2 wards over there. One is painted green and one is painted blue. And the people on the blue ward recover faster and quicker than the people on the green ward. He said, but there must be something in that. It's not just the colour and the vibration. Where does that vibration come from? What is the deep? And I just thought, wow, that is
interesting.
Exactly what we should be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, not just say, oh, well, of course, blue's healing. That's why it happens. No. Dig in deeper. When we start talking vibration, and then we are vibration, and extending that out, and then bringing in that whole picture of why a vibration will resonate with us or not resonate with us.
That will happen.
I don't wear red ties.
You don't wear red ties?
No.
Okay, because it doesn't resonate with you.
Not at all.
I don't wear ties because it doesn't resonate with me. Oh, you need to make fun. But red is not. But it's not negative. Red is power.
Exactly, but it was a bit too much.
Okay, for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only wore a red tie once on platform, and after 5 minutes, it felt like my throat chakra was going to explode. And I thought, it's the red energy. It's the red energy. Take the damn tie off.
You couldn't take it.
But yeah, spiritualism. And I mean, like yourself, I've looked into other religions, and when you actually go into these religions, you can strip away, if we look at the press at the moment, are painting different religions to whatever character that suits their needs. But I found great spirituality in the world's religions. When Ramadan's on, every day somebody should do a good deed for 40 days.
Yeah.
Imagine if the whole world did that. Right, 40 days, you're going to do good deed every day. You're not going to diss anybody else. You're not going to stick your nasty little negative comments or nasty faces on anything on Facebook. You're only going to do good for 40 days. Wow.
Isn't that amazing? I listened. We have a show on television every Sunday morning. It's a Catholic thing that comes every Sunday, and there's a speaker, and they don't speak about philosophy in the way we do, but if you just listen, you can feel the inspiration coming. I love that because it's giving me the power, not because I'm a Catholic, because I'm a spiritualist. I choose to be a spiritualist. But just if you look up and you listen to even the philosophy of Gandhi, is so much inspiration within it. So take a look within everything, because you will find your own inspiration for the day.
Yeah. Definitely.
And maybe it's this talk, and maybe you go to church tomorrow and you see Lawrence speaking on platform talking about I don't know.
That last night.
Yeah, you said that last night. So is that from you or from the talk? Wasn't the spirit world. So I'm joking around, Lawrence,
That's fine. But yeah, and this is something, I always try and diffuse in people, because people come in looking for the answer.
Yeah.
That's got to be taken apart and looked at on many levels. I can't give you my answer, because my answer, I'm the culmination of 62 years of
your answer,
making mistakes, doing good, being a bit dodgy, could have done better. And that's my answer today.
Yeah.
When we look at the spirit world, we expect the answer because they know everything. But no, I think the spirit world is just littered with different schools of thought and philosophy. I do have a penchant for trance and listening to trance and seeing trance. And I've seen trance demonstrations where I just thought, I'm feeling the energy of the trance. I'm seeing my little signals of trance energy, but I really don't go along with what's being said.
Because it's the mind of many from the spirit world. And even that many minds in the spirit world can resonate with you or it can't. And it doesn't mean that the trance or the speaking that has been done is rubbish. Because that would be said often. It can also be that your soul is not ready yet for that kind of thought that is coming from the many minds in the spirit world. It will happen. Be open. Just be open and take everything. And I was lucky that I also had Scott Milligan and David Thompson around in my own involvement. So I was very much involved within physical mediumship, and I saw really everything that can be saw. Even ectoplasm came within red light. So I was really lucky within this 20 years of involvement that I've been into 40 seances in my life. But the first ones, I thought, they're crazy. They are really crazy. What are they doing? This kind of information, I can't work that out. So take it, swallow it, and let it be within your soul, and you will see if it fits for you on your own pathway or not. And if it's not for you, then leave it.
Yeah. Don't try and destroy it. Just leave it. Leave it alone.
And that's it. A lot of people in the Netherlands, when they come to me, they ask me questions about, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about this experience? And the only thing I can't say, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I can't give an opinion about it if I didn't see it, if I didn't was there. So I can't make anything about it. And maybe it is just your experience within your own mediumistic experience. So it's for you. Try to sit with it and ask the spirit world, help me, what is it?
Yeah.
Because if you have that experience, you can sit again and ask them, help explain it to me.
Yeah. Key word as well, experience. And that's going to be something, again, that's going to be very prevalent in the language that I'm using from Paul, that every type, a divine service, a private service, whatever, it is an experience of the phenomena of spirit.
Yeah.
You need to be in that experience, not watching as a voyeur. Not detached. If you sit there detached, you will not get the full benefit of it.
Yeah.
As I said, with the trance, even the sittings where what was said just did not resonate with me, I knew from the experience, I feel the energy. And whenever I see trance, I do see little sparkles of light, and they always go along straight lines. It's quite funny. We had one here, and they were all running up and down the beams and things like that.
That's the way I see it too.
Brilliant. So I know that phenomena is being demonstrated. The actual content is something I need to take away and work with.
Also, when you don't know how much control, because I'm a little bit old-fashioned, because I was trained by David and Scott, that the control of the mind of the medium, how much is at the side, and how much time took the medium to sit within home circle, because sometimes people are going too fast on the stage and allowing the phenomena happening, and even that the spirit world needs more time to work with. So I'm a great believer in that. We need to sit in circle.
Yeah, definitely. And it is, again, we're coming back to that self-unfoldment.
Yeah.
I see a couple of comments there from Stephen Tickle, who is...
I don't know who Stephen is. Hi, Stephen.
Wonderful psychic art, and I do mean wonderful.
Wow, that's interesting. Will he be there in June?
We don't know. We haven't invited him. I've not really spoken to him. So yes, perhaps a conversation is needed.
Yeah, I like psychic art. I really do.
So do I. I'm so lucky. I inherited quite a number of works from Coral Polge.
Oh wow!
And the detail and everything that went into it was just like, oh, that's just absolutely amazing. That is just astounding. And there is actually a wonderful YouTube video of Gordon Higginson demonstrating the Coral Polge.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. And, that shows that dedication, commitment. But we also need that ability as well.
Absolutely.
I am not an artist. I'm all right with the roller.
That can be very inspired by the spirit world. You have you have a house painter with you.
Yeah. But again, it just shows how our connection with the spirit world we can get that enhancement of our natural abilities, not trying to be something that we are not.
And also allow it to be that the spirit world decides how they want to work with us.
Yeah.
Because exactly. Yes, I think if we are on the road and on the journey to experience the unfoldment of the possibilities, that you need to experience everything. But if it is something that point out at the time, we need to allow the spirit world, okay, this is the path. As I said, I've never planned to be a teacher. I never planned to be a Blackfoot medium. I always said no to everything. And look at me now.
Yeah.
I just said to the spirit world, okay. But again, it's my choice, of course, because I have a free will. But we don't know what the spirit world has as a plan with us.
Exactly. And that plan as well is reflection of our own soul's journey.
Yeah.
Because we've come here, we've incarnated. I'm just trying to imagine somewhere up in the spirit world. I was sat there in a bar having a good laugh with my guides and said, "Oh, Earth 2020, that sounds a blast. Let's get down. I'll have me some of that." we are always in that place where we can unfold our soul's journey. And this is sometimes where the message of spiritualism gets a little bit lost and a little bit confused, that we need to demonstrate all the time and have the evidence and have that instant verification from the sitter, no matter how we are on a journey. And I've been having this conversation with several mediums over about the last 18 months now about looking at where you work, how you work, who you work with, and things like that. And does it resonate with you? And if it doesn't,
leave it.
No.
Yeah.
Seriously, just say no.
And it's going back a little bit on what you have said before, just before you started about those. Oh no, you're not rambling. I do understand exactly what you're saying. We always talk about the demonstration of survival. And have that evidence. Yes, of course, the evidence is important, but it needs to be warm. It needs to be in love with God. You need to feel it. But we're talking about the soul plan and the soul journey. Isn't it something to think of? Before life started, the soul has already a plan.
Yeah.
So why we don't talk also about the soul before life, not only the survival of the soul, but the soul was already there. The lives already start before it ignite within the physical body, have that journey, go back home, and then have the communication in the communion. So it's such a, I really like that thoughts to think about that and talk about that things, and just allowing my soul to go into depth in all that kind of thoughts. And I really hope that other people will do that too in their own way.
Exactly. And being a medium of whatever context is not
Exactly.
the sole purpose of the soul.
Exactly.
It is a part, it is a facet. Because
Yeah.
within our mediumship, we learn compassion, we learn empathy, we learn healing, we learn understanding, and we learn about ourselves. So that mediumship is not the core journey of it. It's a trigger to awaken our soul to, that eternal question. Why are we here?
Why are we here? Yeah.
Why are we here?
But it starts with the demonstration, or it starts to step into a church in a divine service. And hopefully those who've never been into your church will have that experience and go away and think about it and open themselves up for the opportunities and the experiences what the spirit world can bring us.
Yeah, brilliant.
I would like to say amen.
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 Amen, sister.
Hallelujah.
Daniela, what a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you so much for giving up your time freely.
You're welcome.
We are very honoured. You will be with us here in person.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
The
June.
first weekend of June.
Yes.
Where you giving a workshop on healing with the lovely Jack as well. How brilliant is that?
Yes, that's amazing.
And I have the great honour of coming over and working for you the first weekend of April.
Yeah, it's amazing that sometimes you will meet people with the same color, the same vibration, and the same thoughts. And we are very thankful. I'm not saying this only on my behalf, but also of the whole foundation, what we do in the Netherlands, that we are really, really pleased that this is not only a contact, but it's building in a friendship. And that I hope everybody will find in their life, that you can find people that resonate with you.
Definitely. So yeah, look forward to it. 2024, what a year.
What a year it is. Thank you so much. Bring it on. Yeah, allow it to be happen.
Yeah, bring it on. We're ready. Daniela, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Beautiful evening, beautiful presentation. And again, it's so wonderful when our guests, that passion comes through, because it comes across so well. There's no script. There's no
even in my bad English.
Your English is a lot better than my Dutch, and you will find that out in April.
Oh God. We will learn you some words.
Or I will find it out when I'm at a railway station and end up in Berlin or somewhere.
We need to pick you up in Berlin. No, I think I will ask Iwan to pick you up from the airport. That would be more easier to sit in a car.
Anyway, my darling, you have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again. I do appreciate it. It's just been absolute delight. I can't wait to get the soundtrack out of this out for a podcast as well, because there's just so much in there. I will sit and listen to this again and just think, oh yeah, I get that. Or, oh, Lawrence, why don't you shut up? So on behalf of everybody, on behalf of myself, thank you all for joining us tonight. On behalf of Daniela, thank you too for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful, blessed night wherever you are. And we look forward to seeing you again in Oh, we have a Zoom service tomorrow night coming to you from the Pool Church. That's at 6 o'clock. Details are out in the poster. And of course, you can watch our service in the morning. You can watch that live. It's streamed on to Facebook and to YouTube. Please note, we do not interact with the online viewers as in sharing messages. It's just a way of being able to sit within a divine service energy. It's also very useful for anybody who may not have been inside a spiritualist church, because getting over that doorstep is always the biggest hurdle. You know, what am I going to find inside? Are they all mad? I don't know. I'm not going in there. So it's a wonderful way of just going, oh, it's not that weird. So anyway, everybody have a wonderful, blessed night on behalf of me. Thank you so much. Daniela, my darling.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Good night, everybody.